You take all the long ones and you line them up on your board.
With the pencil marks together.
With the pencil marks
pencil
together.
together. Now, where's this pencil? This means that you get the right... Oh, yeah. We're going to be weaving from this way on. This is the end of the basket. This is where they start going up.
Okay.
That's why we make a mark, because it's very clever. It tells us exactly where to go. If anybody's ready to start, would you just like to come and have a look here for a second? Yeah, this is a short one. Line up your long ones so that your pencil marks are all together. And now this is the first short one, and we want to find the pencil mark on the short one.
Here it is.
Okay. So that one, that pencil mark is going to go there. And now we're going to interweave it across the bottom. The easiest way to interweave it across the bottom is to pick up every other one. It's going to be over and under. Just pop that underneath, can you find it? And that is our first row. Ta-da, ta-da!
Yay!
And we make sure that you've got your 14-inch mark. Where is it?
It's here.
14 marker. Now these should be about 1/4 of an inch apart.
Quarter of
That's
an
our
inch.
first row. Now the next row we take another one. And I'm now going to lift up, as you can all see, every other one. Otherwise it wouldn't be woven, would it? And that's very clever. You put that one in. You might want to do this in pairs. It might be easier for you. And you put it in like that. That's much easier to weave it that way than to try and fiddle it along. And now as you come along, you want to try, all these little things should be square, if you're perfect.
The little holes?
All little holes should be about 1/4 inch square. So, you know, once you've woven it in, it's very hard to move it. So before you start the next row, make sure you like what you did the row before, because otherwise it's tricky to keep moving it. And then we get the next one. We lift these up. We pop that one in. We get the pencil mark on the right line. And we put it in the right place again. So this way where
You always go on one, like in one direction as opposed to...
Yeah. Because that's all very clever. You see, this is the 14 inches for the side. That's the 14 inches for the side. If you start to put some up here, you'd be taking away the height of the basket.
So you've actually started weaving at the edge?
Yeah, both edges. This is one edge and that's the other edge. And that's what's clever about putting the mark on, because it means that you don't... Otherwise you had to fiddle around and find the centre. So does anybody have any questions?
No,
and
that looks good.
Do you need two people to do it?
It might be nice to help each other, because then you've got someone to put it in. I mean, this is how I learned to do it, because you just did this. You get your finger out, and you put it in like that. So you can either do it that way or you can help each other.
I missed the part about why you don't do it, why there's a center one and you're just looking to the right
Well,
rather than...
This is the edge, this is the side,
And that's 14.
and that's the side.
That's
Yeah.
14.
And so by the time we've finished, you'll probably find out this is about 14 too.
Yeah, I wasn't here when you first started.
No, and it's confusing, but on the other hand, it makes a lot of sense. Otherwise, you fiddle around, you don't have them the right, you know, you want them all the right height going down the edge. So, now I don't know, have you got a tape measure, Gina? It should be about 4.5 inches across. So, and it's going to, so let's see what we did here. 24, so we could make it a little bit more if you want to. Perhaps we should just pull it out just a touch more. Make it 4.5. Probably would be a very good idea if you measured it just before you started. Yeah.
Because my board is exactly 4 inches.
Yeah, you can mark it on the board if you like to fit it on. Yeah.
And then we continue doing that until we've used up all of our 33-inch ones.
We get down to that.
Okay.
And then we put the nails in.
Okay.
They're a big thing. So first of all, get it together. You don't need it on the board now. You can do it on the table quite easily. The board is only essential for when we're going to put a nail in each corner. And then it's going to be
About 4.5 inches long or more.
Okay, so we'll start with our 6.
the long ones that go going to put across.
2, 3, 4.
Going to be to and fro. So it's the long ones that are going to be the ones that are down circle. The long ones have
bucket on there so it doesn't move.
That's a good idea. Just make sure it doesn't fall off.
Yes, you're right. Okay, so now I'm ready.
Okay, so I think Wednesday could be alright with
up the line like that. Okay. Get the next one. Okay, so now you take the nails in your board.
My board.
And you go on the outside of those corners.
Maybe you should need to angle it in a little bit.
I'll be careful of that. Okay, then I'll fix up this.
And now you want to go around and with your nail or a hammer, bend each one up.
Oh, you see, I was thinking because you asked for a specific size that we were going to.
Oh, I see. You probably could actually, but we don't. I mean, it'd probably be difficult to get it out too. So we just bend them up like that because we're going to start weaving in a minute.
Okay.
So just if you use your nail or something and give it an edge to turn up, it's not just
You're welcome. Alrighty then.
Whose masterpiece is this?
Mine.
Ooh, very nice. And you can just tap it in on each corner. It might be better on the other side because it's a bit...
Okie dokie.
There we are, the nails are in there and the hammer's there. This is a very clever way of making it easy to turn the basket out. Alright. Because otherwise, I mean, to every pull needs to be a push. If you try and lift it up like this, the whole thing comes up, but this, you'll find it's a very clever way of making this basket. It's rather an unusual technique, because of course this is only a prop,
So you don't nail the basket down, you're just putting it in the corners.
If you want to, you can put your pencil marks at the bottom if they worry you. They're not really going to show. They don't worry you.
Okay.
Okay, now you go around and bend each of those stakes up.
With my fingernail. Okay.
Or a fingernail or a ruler or something. And you're just going to do yours by just nailing in there. You're a little bit close to the edge, so we should be just around here. Like this there? Yes, just right. All right. What's happening down here? No, that's fine. Okay. Okay. Just hammer it in. And then you're going to go around and we're going to press each stake up.
All right.
So.
And how many of those other reeds do we
Well,
need?
you'll start with one.
Just one?
Yeah. And you'll have lots of time to put more in.
Okay.
Oh, we're locked out.
Uh-oh.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you. Now, who needs help? I'm ready. You ready?
Your hands will be on YouTube, is that a problem?
No.
They're lovely hands, my. I'm going to go past you here.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so that's how we do that. Now we straighten them out too.
Looks like a multi-legged spider.
Yes, the people on Harry Potter. So you've tilted yours all up a little bit.
You just put your fingernail there and just tip them up like that.
Okay.
So they bend a bit more.
That's pretty good. With the pinky ones.
So this is called a New England style basket?
Yes.
Okay,
And the
so
only
that's
one
what we'll be
is
making.
it's woven with 3/4 inch wide reed.
So are we doing 33s again, or are we going to do 39s?
I think we could do another 33, don't you?
Have you got
So
enough for 39?
in order to do this, you need to cut 12 pieces of 33-inch long
Is that going to be okay?
flat reed.
I'm not going to change my...
And it is called half-inch. It's half-inch flat reed. So you cut 12 at 33 inches, and then you cut 6 at 39 inches.
You make them up.
Okay, and then what you do is you measure them, and at 14 inches, now the 33-inch longs are the stakes, and you need to mark them at 14 inches from one end.
Wait, one thing, because this is not coming through.
So if you line them all up together, then you can mark them all at 14 inches. I marked them all wrong. 14 is up here. Okay, so mark them all at 14 inches. Oh no, that was right. That was at 14. Okay, they're all at 14 inches. And then you put it in your bucket of water. You have a bucket of water, and you put them all in. Okay. Okay, and then while that's soaking, soak the stalks and a few weavers. Now your weavers were the other ones. So let's soak a few weavers. Well, we could soak them all, I guess. Okay. Okay, and then you're going to have a board. And the board,
This is 1/4 inch reed that you're going to use for weaving. You're all going to need a bit of this in your hair as well, to get wet for when you start weaving.
Did the other long ones being here long?
Yeah, but you can mark them if you like before they go in the pail with the pencil. Mark them.
14 inches from the end.
Sorry everybody, can we just listen? Because I think some people aren't quite sure what they're doing, and we're all arriving late again. The thing is, it's difficult for the teacher when we're all at different stages, and I hate to see mess up the basket, because this is the beginning. Now, the initial instructions are, you've all got them all, but they are on here, and this is what you all need to do. And you all need to have 6 pieces and 12 pieces, and you need to measure them up here. You've got the markers on the table, and then when you get them, take them back to your table, and get your tape measure out, and mark them all at 14 inches from one end. Yes, I know. So both the 39-inch and the 33-inch need to be marked with a pencil mark from one end, because this is going to establish a point. And otherwise, when you start weaving, you have to start in the middle and find the middle for everything. So, although it seems a little bit complicated now, by making that 14 inches now, it shows you that's the height of one side, that will be the bottom, and that will be the height of the other side. That's the thinking behind it. So it's a very clever thing to do. So make your 18-inch keep them together.
18 or 14?
Sorry, 14. And keep them together, and then you need to make them wet, because you're going to weave these. So whenever you weave anything like this, it should be wet. Otherwise it's much more difficult to get it to slide together. So get them and put them in your basket. And the next thing you need to do is to get some 1/4-inch weave, which is the flat weave, which is in the basket. Well, for instance here. And this is what you're going to start to weave with, because the flat ones that we're all measuring here are going to be the stakes that you weave around. So once you've got the stakes that you're going to weave around, you're going to need something to weave round with. And this is what we're going to use to weave round. So everybody's going to need a few pieces of this, and they need to wrap it up in a little bundle, I'll show you, so that when you put it in your water, it doesn't make a huge mess. Just take this, wrap it up in a little circle, and put it in your bundle it into your bucket, and you can do that, you know, when the others are ready to go. There we are. And then when you start, you've got your base ready, and we've got the base on the, we've nailed the base onto the wood. You're going to use this to start weaving round. And so that's why it must be wet. So those are the steps. Get the stakes, mark them 14 inches, put them in the water, get them wet, and then get some of these, bundle them up, and pop them in the bucket. How many inches should I get? Oh, 2 or 3. And I got a lot more. It's for yours,
Okay, I didn't mark the...
If we all, you know, sometimes people go ahead and do the wrong thing, and then it...
Oops. These are all marked. But these are not.
Now the other thing is, I'm asking everybody, when I collect the $10, what colour they would like for their handles, or what colour the handles are, because I will get some weed dyed for next week, and then you can put some of the colour of the handles in the basket. It looks much nicer, otherwise it's an unrelated, you know, to speak to the handles. And I didn't know what colour everybody had, so I'm asking people blue, green, pink, red, yellow, whatever. And I'll get something next week. The basket doesn't feel wet. Give it a spray. Now these are all going to come up. Now this is the hard bit, everybody. So according to them, it's easier to work on the inside at this point. That's what their instructions say. And because you're going to overlap it, we go round a row and then we cut it off, and we do another row and we cut it off. Don't start too near a corner or at the narrow ends. It's better to sort of, well, I could have started on perhaps one more up here. Start sort of in the middle, just so that it's easier that way. And we're going to go over and under, which we all know how to do, and just take it over and under, and we're standing these fellows up. Now this is a little bit tricky, so bear with me. You'll find that the joy of having a nail there is that you're going to be able to keep your weaver tight when it goes around the corner, which is marvellous, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to do that. Okay, now we can lift this one up, brings it around and under there, and that's what keeps the tension. It's just such a clever way of doing this. You also want to keep your weaver fairly down, so that one's going to be a down and this is going to be an up. So try and keep the weave right, because it's a bit of a bore if you don't.
So the weaver goes around the nail?
Yeah, the weaver goes around the nail.
It just came off of it.
Did it? Oh, thank you. Did it come off it? Oh. So we just weave. And because we've got an even number of stakes, those of you who've done weaving before will know that the even number of stakes means you can't keep what we call spiralling. Because if you spiral, I think a clothes peg might be a good idea at this end. You got one? You can cheat and you can do all sorts of other things, but I'm just teaching you what they say. I'll just put this in here. What else is in? There we are. I usually weave on the outside of my baskets, but they do recommend when you start this one, you do it on the inside. They think it's easier. And so I'm doing you what they do. Let's say. But this person who, Diane Stanton, I did write her name down, is a very good basket maker from New England, a super nice person. And it was she that found this basket made with black ash and the Hong Kong grass and adapted it, which was, I think, very nice. And so she wrote these instructions. So we'll try and do exactly what Diane says. Whoops. Now, of course, when you'll find when you've done about 3 rows, the whole thing will become much easier because they'll all be standing up on their own like little soldiers. At this point, they're not really terribly excited about going up, but they will be when you've done 3 rows.
Holding them up with a clothespin, would that help?
Yeah, probably would. Just come around here. Now this is why the board is so great, because if you're weaving on the table, the whole thing is much more difficult to manage. This is just so easy to have it on a board. It's sort of pinned down. Yeah, down there. Yeah, come around the corner again. Around this corner. And this, believe you me, if it's not down like this, it's very hard to do. And now I'm back to where I started, just about, and I do an overlap. And I'm home again, so we overlap these 2.
Okay. You don't tie or glue them or nothing?
No, we just glue, we just put them together. And just snip them off.
You know, at the moment they're lying rather flat.
Yes, well they will. It's going to take you probably 3 rows. You need some snips. Have you got some snips in here? No, because you'll find very, very soon they'll all be happily up. Now, because we started there, I would suggest you come and start over here this time, so that we don't have all the joins in one place. And this time you're just going to do another row, and you'll find even this row becomes easier, because you see they're going to start wanting to be up.
Yeah.
Okay? Yep. This looks good.
Get in the bathtub and do it.
And then just remember which way you're going and do the opposite. We need 2 more. 2 more? Just another? 12, and then I think 1 more big one. I think that's it. Okay? So this is 12. We've got 6 long ones. I don't know about, oh, wait, okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I might have 13. We can give or take. If I have 13, maybe I can get rid of the short one. Do I have to soak it out? Yes. Oh, good. You got your nails in? Yes. Crease them a bit. It's easier to crease them first. Why do you apply? Go around. Which? I just use I have actually, well, I guess Rosie, I've got one more piece there, but Rosie doesn't. Oh, okay, well, I can do this. Well, what about, it's too exact, like I thought it was supposed to be. Oh, okay. Right. But I do have a piece here, your basket's smaller. Is that any smaller anyway? Probably. Yours is 4 by 9, 4 by 10. Mine is like 4 and a half by 10. Well, I didn't know. Do I have to straighten? I just put my nail. Well, I'm probably wear those nails. Oh, okay. Look, she has this. You can use that. I'm okay. I'll just put them on the nail. Yeah. I feel like I'm going to put nails. So I put the nails. No, don't worry about the nails at all. Okay. Not at all? No, don't worry. Yeah, just pull them up. You don't need, I wouldn't use it. But it's what I mean, I put them in. Well, you just put them in the 2 lines. I'm going to try.
Okay, and then I got the other one. I started on this side, so now I start on this side.
And there's up two big pieces of piece, and you have to drill this nail like this, and they come in and each one. And I won! Out of all the really? I don't know how it's the last one. Well, they do
before we go, the only important thing for you really is to know that where you're going to put the handles in. I have written it in there, but I'll show you. Did you get this one? You have it? Yes. Okay. I think I'm okay. Probably up here, Ron. Yeah, here. Ron right here. So I'll have to put that in. Yeah, I think something like on for you. Your overlap's a bit small. I don't know if it's now, do I have a colour of your handle? I'm hoping you have sort of this colour of your form. But lots of people want dark, which is harder. We all have matching that. Well, they went nothing else.
Now, should we be pushing this down really tight like your basket on the table?
Pack it down. Okay. And I tried to change, but we couldn't change. Things didn't work out for us to alter next week. So, I suggest that next week you come up, I will bring all the quarter inch weave with me, and I will dye some. And all you three will have to do is to weave up. Do you want this to I don't know. You have to weave up to where we're going to start the top. Now, there's only one important thing to do here. We usually weave a little bit of the flat weave in as you go up the side. I'll bring my sample for you to see. Because when you put the flat weave in, it's when you put the handles underneath. I know this is a wider one, but so when you put the handles underneath, it has to go underneath the flat weave. This bit here.
Okay. So 2 or 3 rows, we want a wide one?
Yes, you want to choose a stake that's about 3 in from the corner, and say your handle would go under that one. I've got it in the instructions for you to see, because it's very difficult to put your handle under the narrow. It has to be under the wide. So you have to put a wide weave round, so it's going to go underneath. And I might dye some wide stuff for you if you like.
Can we not just wait till you come back for the full?
Well, unfortunately, you see, we couldn't switch the weeks. I was hoping to switch a week, but it couldn't. Yeah, so, you know.
What are you doing the following week?
Baskets again.
Can we wait a little bit?
Well, we can, but I thought you could weave up the sides on your own.
March break, so with the kids at home and stuff.
Well, I mean, whatever you like. The only thing is that we were going to do eggs, Ukrainian eggs, the week before Easter.
Oh, yeah.
And if we don't, if we don't, I don't know that we've got time in 1 week to weave all the way up the sides and do the top. That's what worries me. And I thought maybe we could weave up the sides on your own, which would be very exciting. And then we could lash and do the handles the next week.
So you're going to dye the wide ones?
Yes. I'll dye some wide stuff for you, and I will also dye some 1/4 inch.
So really we can't do too much more on this until next Thursday?
Well, you can't. You can do a few more rows, but then you want to give me 1/4 inch, the wide stuff.
Yeah.
So I thought if we got the basket up today and on its way, that the rest, the weaving up the side is not difficult. The only one thing is you're going to leave the gaps where you put the handle. That's the only thing. And then if you weave up here, it's quite easy to weave. Because you'll find that the stakes are all going out happily, and you'll just weave away, and it'll be very easy. But the top is the difficult bit that's the challenge. And for anybody who doesn't want to come next week but wants to come the week after, that's fine, and then we can perhaps finish it
Why don't we start more early
on the week until
on the Thursday that we're doing the final basket?
Okay.
Maybe some people would be willing to come in the morning, if you could.
Well, that's a thought. Should we finish it up?
That would be nice.
Would that, and not do it next week?
That would work better for me. Not do it next week, then you wouldn't have to worry about being here, and we'll all, if we can come early.
Well, that would suit me fine.
Yes.
You don't like to do the dyeing then until you come back?
That would suit me very well. Shall we do that?
Yes, yes. Is that all right?
We'll have the winter break off. We'll have a winter break and people can come and lift the thing in the morning. And the week after, we will start, what, 10:30?
Sounds good to me.
That sounds good.
10:30. All right.
Okay.
We'll have to let Hillary know. Maybe Hillary can let everybody know to come early that day.
Yeah. And we won't basket empty. I'm sorry about next week, but
it's easier for you too.
You're much easier. I'm going to Canada Blues. And
I think that's wonderful. I wish I was going.
Thank you. I have to go stand up and talk about flower boxes and porch boxes.
I'm going to find out if my friends and I'll take pictures.
Well, I thought I could do a PowerPoint for my flower boxes, but they don't have a screen. So I have to stand up there and wave my arms.
You just need a screen for us?
Well, no, they haven't got facilities for a PowerPoint. The other people have them. I do mine for the Master Gardeners too. They have them. I'm always going to do that to take my TV.
That is so handy.
When you heard Laura McDonald was here last week, and they all
Okay, so we are done once we've got our 3 rows up the side. And because we don't have the big wide ones here, we're just...
I mean, the great thing is to have it going up, and you are going.
Okay, so I'll just keep going, or just...
Yeah, you can do a couple more rows.
Okay.
And then we'll do But, I mean, it's quite nice, isn't it, when it starts coming up?
Yeah, and now are those pushed tightly enough together? They're not, are they?
Yeah, all right. Oh, you've got 4 rows in here, right?
I do.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wouldn't do more than about another 2, and then
Okay.
you'll put the handles in. I mean, I personally like to weave on the outside.
Yeah, I like to weave on the outside also. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah. But you can play with these a bit and make them straight. You know, like standing up like little soldiers. Now you're going to need a ride home, Nancy.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, when you take it home, I would keep it up.
out.
You know, keep the stakes coming up.
Oh, okay.
So they'll be happier on their way. You know,
Okay.
like this on up rather than down.
Okay, thank you, Ankaret. That's how it's to be done.
Hello, it's Nancy today. We're back making our New England baskets now. Okay, so now Ankaret has dyed some of these pieces for us. So we're going to use different colors. I have a red strap, which will be for the handle, which will go around. 2 handles will go down. And I'm going to have red with purple because, you know, that's the unconventional red hat lady sort of thing. So I'm going to put a strip of this around, and then we will continue weaving with the small stuff. So I'll show you just a bit of this. So I like to just gather them together all at once and then slide my piece behind it. And then now it's important to push it all the way down, make it nice and tight. If you want a tight basket, you know. I do want a tight basket. I don't like it when my things fall out. Those are small enough that coins won't fall out, but pens will. Now I have wet the basket. I have had it soaking for just a few minutes. So last time we already started all this. And let me get my clippers. And I shall cut this. And it's overlapping here, you see? And get it real nice and tight. It's easier to do it when you're moving around than it is to do it later. Okay, and then we go back to using the other pieces. Now these have been soaked. So we're going to start it on the other side. Start it in the center.
Where Ankaret goes through, she doesn't use it until she uses her down. See the basket is up higher than on the back. Yes, but you don't have to attach it to anything until that. See, it doesn't go under the weaver. Oh, I have to put it 3/4 in.
That's wonderful. Now, we can't do too much of it, but I don't know how much.
Okay, it does work better if you do them one at a time, if you're trying hard to get them down to fit
It's however you like.
right onto the last
You're
one.
basically leaving the 3/4 of a half inch. Right. And then it's a cut. Right. But what I've got to talk about is this whole. Now we've got half wet.
Yeah, that's quarter inch and it's wet, but we need some 3/4 inch wet.
Yes, so this is 3/4 and half, whichever you like.
Are you finished your bottle?
I mean, I suggested that we wet a whole lot because we're all using it.
That's wet.
Yeah.
And we don't have to cover wet, so we need to wet some.
Or half. Or single half.
Okay, so I need one more.
One of the ladies in the
I think one of these. This half.
yesterday had been
Oh, that's
Belmont all day the day before doing a cable course.
On the instructions that you have to decide at some point where you're going to put in your handle. And usually, yes, and I have written it in the instructions, so that you choose somewhere, and you're going to say, this is where my handle's going to go, like this. And you're going to have to make it the same here, and the same here, and the same here, and the same here. It makes sense. So usually you come three in from the corner, but you have to have it where your weaver is going over. And then we've got some markers, and you can put a marker in if you want to, because you need to know where that is when you come to put your handles in. It is quite tricky to get it pushed underneath. If you leave a little marker in, then you've got a little spot which has already left a little opening.
Can we not, sorry, excuse me, can we not put the strap in and look over it?
Well, you can, but if you realise it's quite a fiddle to put the strap in. It goes around the bottom, underneath, up here, down here. It's one continuous piece.
Where do you sew the strap ends together?
Well, you have got a picture of it on your. I gave you all a picture.
Yeah.
You see?
Okay.
So you've got a picture. You see, it's a continuous piece.
Yeah.
But I think if you start putting bits in now, you're going to get very confused.
Okay.
I think if it's easier to leave the gap. And so when you come to the point when you're going to leave a gap for your handle, I can come and help you just to get it right. Because when you've got it right on the bottom, then you want to get it right on the top, because you obviously want to have a gap, you know.
So there's only one seam, but it's at the bottom. There's
Yeah.
no seams, really.
The one seam to join up is here.
And you sew it after?
You sew that. That's why it would be difficult if you put it all in now.
Oh yeah, because you're working upside down.
It wouldn't work.
Yeah, okay.
But I do have some little markers, so when you get there, then we'll put the little markers in. And you only need a little short bit. For a marker, you just need a little bit like that, you see, just to leave the space.
Okay.
And then I can, whoops. And then as soon as you've got your marker, now, Mary, we're going to have to make sure you're going up. Up and not out.
You want my clothes pins?
No, I think that's fine.
Okay, now you see, this is the New England style basket. So we've come up from the bottom. I guess we've come up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we put in a colored piece. This is my way, 2, and then a wide piece. And then underneath this wide piece, I have put the third one from the edge, 1, 2, 3, where it's going on the outside like this. I have pushed some pieces to hold the spot. Oops, but I have to make sure I don't weave over those now. This piece will have to come out and be redone. So it needs to go behind that.
But that's all it needs is just to piece them up. There's a lot of people that are doing. You need a little lifting.
There.
You see
So you keep these separate and you continue to weave behind them as if nothing has happened. Okay, so I put the purple, and then I've got two. I got a wide one, and I've got two, so now I'll put another purple. But you can do it however you like. See, she has green. Okay, now as your basket goes up, you cannot go all the way to the top. They're going to be turned down, but you can go up pretty high. And so you notice whenever you put this big one, I'm not sure that you need it 3 times, but I've put it 3 times just because I've had handles that have come through. So I have this extra piece in here to hold that out, so I will replace this with the strap. See, this is going to be the. So I've left them open, and you can have whatever pattern you like, small. Like I've got 2 purple, 2 wide, 2 purple, 2 wide, 2 purple, 2 wide. So it's up to you. Now when your reeds get, or when your, I guess the reeds get dry, you need to spray them. So you take your spray bottle and you spray it because these still need to bend back and forth around each piece. So you need to make sure that you've got. See, this is one of the placeholders. So you want to make sure that these don't get too dried out. You can let the bottom dry. And this does bring it back. It does. If you've already soaked it, this will bring it back very well. Okay, so I'm going to do the last one. Now you know, you start here in the middle somewhere, behind it. I like to just go like this. I pick every other one, and I pull them forward, and I press this down, but not all the way. Then I pull these out, and then I pull these out.
Strawberry juice. Yeah, I think you're just going to have to do that. You're just going to have to. I mean, you can do that if you want to. So it tells you where to go, doesn't it?
I just need some guidelines to do the marking for my handle.
You got to make sure you don't pull it too tightly around the corners, or else you can start getting narrow all the way up.
Did you own that night?
And we came back when we did the first half.
So why don't you go 1, 2, 3 in? So that's 1.
So I want the end to be hidden.
And you go under that one. And under this one. One little bit actually. Might just put it this like it won't do so. No, but I mean that might be good for a long one. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, and then I pull it down.
We should use these little pieces for our markers, everybody. Yeah. Rather than cutting off new pieces. Because otherwise it's waste. We could use the hook. Small pieces.
You're saying 1, 2, 3 in, put it under. With it or just
leave it. So that's that.
See, it gets a little tighter around the corner. Pull it just a little bit more.
You go 1, 2, 3 on this side. I mean, there is an alternative, you know. If you did a double row of big stuff, you could go under the next row. What we try is 1, 2, 3. That's going over. If you did another row of this.
See, make sure your stakes are coming up straight.
Because this row where it's in.
Now, see, this is crooked at the top. For some reason, maybe because the edge has not been pushed down enough each time.
so it doesn't matter where it starts. Oh, because it has to go into somewhere.
Yeah. So this one's go 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Now I'm going to let you see other people's. Hello, Georgina. Can we spy on yours? Now, is this yellow, or it's been in the water, which is green?
Green, yeah.
Oh, so it is turning it a greenish.
Came out of the one
It does nice. So you've dyed them then?
not intentional.
Why? Why is it doing that? I don't understand. This is a magic thing, it's a mystery. So that's right, that would be under that one. Oh, I see.
Lovely colors.
Well, it will look pretty with the multicolored ribbon I have.
Oh yes, you had multicolor. Here.
Now the next row, we'll do 1, 2, 3 and leave it there. Otherwise,
That would look very lovely. Perfect.
yeah. But what they're saying is that when they go 1, 2, 3, they're going to put it underneath that one. Right? So you're 1, 2, 3 in there. 1, 2, 3,
4.
in there. It's 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 on one side and 3 on the other.
Yeah.
So the other side would be 4.
So the other side. So this is now 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
4. Are they matching?
And this will be 1, 2, 3, and it will be under there. So when that comes onto the bottom, they will go slightly crisscross, you see? That's what they're saying. They won't follow one. So what I was saying was if you did 2 rows, I mean, this is getting very, very deep math, but if you did 2 rows, it would
work.
It would work too, because you would have another round. I don't know how to explain it.
I think
you see, if you put that round
I think
in,
I can use this one because
if
this
we
one
put
is
this
not
round in,
Okay.
then you would have it under one here and under one there.
You're going to have to do that every time, though, right?
Well, you only for the handles.
So every time you're going to do a handle ring, you have to do 2 of those down here and then 2 of them up here.
Yeah. But that would get over the problem
I
of
see.
it having to cross on the bottom,
I see.
wouldn't it?
Very good.
Oh, brilliant!
Brilliant, brilliant.
Brilliant!
True
But then
basket
it would be
maker.
underneath.
Well, you're already carrying your luggage along.
Pretending there's apples in it.
Pretending there's apples. Apples would be all over the floor now, wouldn't they?
Yes, indeed.
Well, it shouldn't be. I don't understand it, because we only had it one.
I'm sneaking a peek.
Oh, okay. I don't know if it's shaped.
I don't have my cupcake.
It should be.
It's good.
I've got some.
If you want to change the shape, you just soak it, and then
I've got some ends in there that I'll be tucking in or cutting off.
Clipping off.
So.
That's normal. Oh, you've started on yours now too.
That's the only thing.
Oh, you've got different colors in there.
Yeah.
Oh, you tied it to the board.
Yes. 'Cause I'm doing it today. I missed last week.
Right.
So I was really difficult for me
To do it all by yourself.
to go beyond.
Yeah. I like how you put the red one up the center.
It's not even centered.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's an even number, it's hard to center it.
You'd have 2 wide rows, so it would go under there.
Okay, well now I don't have the 2 wide rows, of course.
See what I mean?
But they would have to be side by side because this and this would be your...
The blue coming up here.
Oh well, this will be fine. I'll let it crisscross on the bottom because I don't care. Okay,
So just so that they're.
so I'm going to have 2 pieces of that?
You're going
I'm
to have
gonna-
one on the inside and one on the outside.
Okay,
And you're going to take all your stakes and you're going to wet them and turn them down. So they're going to be turned back down. Now where can we see them?
now wait, this is...
Here. See?
Oh, I see, okay.
in,
Now, and they're coming over
in.
the top of it?
No, they're just turning down. This covers all.
I
This
see.
covers the border.
So they don't really need to turn down, they could just be cut off.
Well, no, because I think it'd be very weak. If you put your rim and you cut all those off, there's nothing really. This makes the ring stronger
I see.
because they're down. If you just cut them off and put a rim round, the rim could just come off.
So what is holding them?
Well,
Where
by
is
the fact that they've been turned round and pushed down.
And then, but still, what is holding? Why can't
Well,
it come off over the tops of the fold?
Because you see, you've lashed here.
So you lash it.
There's another row of weaving in here. So you've lashed this to the weaving.
Oh, and so you wove it after they were lashed
Well,
down.
no, I wove.
Turned down.
Yeah, but when you turn it down, there will be another row there. I don't want to bend them. You see, it'll be like that.
Okay.
And then you lash it to this row.
Okay.
You see?
Ah, yes, I see. So that this can't fall off,
No,
too.
that's lashed down.
Okay.
So you can't do it. Now this one, I think, did I lash every other one? I don't even remember. Sometimes you lash every other one. This one's lashed every other one. I think my other one, I bent it in and in this way. If we look at this one.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
I think that one lashed, I did the both ways, didn't I?
At the top?
Yeah.
It looks like it, yes.
Yeah, they came, all these ones went in, you can see them going in. And I think that's all you actually have to do.
Okay.
You don't have to...
So when you turn them down, you're turning them over the last weaver.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you're going to lash yourself to that row of weaving. And
Okay.
it's strong because you've turned it, you've turned these...
Over the top of
You've
it.
turned that over.
Okay, it's
So
come
that's-
over the last row.
There's another row of
Okay.
weaving in here.
I got it now.
And so you're just going to...
So they would have to be fairly wet then, aren't they?
Yes. You have to make sure your basket's wet.
Okay. Thank you, Ankaret. Well, that's a good idea.
I do have that. And then Nancy, if you're getting on, you need to, where they're going to overlap, you need to smooth them off. The two ends, you're going to, that's a lot of stuff. Well, where you join them, if these were round, you will smooth a little bit off so that will not be fat. You'll make that end thin and that end thin.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to be nicely joined like this. Just take a little corner off each.
Okay.
So when they join, then they go around there, they won't be sticking out, be lumpy.
Oh, I see. Okay. All righty then. How many what?
Is that black or purple?
It's purple, but it's wet. It does. Okay, now when you get to the top of your basket, so that you've only got some small bits left, then you're going to turn them over so that they go over the top ring. And you have to soak it, so you put it in the water, upside down, and soak it in the water. Okay? Now I find the easiest way to get them to turn in, to go down in there, is to trim the edge. Sorry. So you cut the edge so it's pointed, okay? And then very gently turn it so that you're not going to break it. You have to be very careful about that. And then you're going to tuck it into another one down below. See if I can make the camera focus on the right spot. You may have to wiggle. You may have to wiggle the spot. Like so. You may have to loosen it up a bit so that you can tip this back into it. It's hard to do it with one hand. Okay, so push it in.
I've done the raspberry holder and we were talking about, you said, you take
There, you see? Push it real tightly. Get it down there. This is... I did that, the potato basket.
What's the potato basket? Something like the frame that Nancy has there. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you just keep going around and around and around. Yeah, we used peeled willow.
And is it a big basket then?
No, it was a flat thing. It was just sort of a dish.
Oh.
And it had two handles, two places on the side where you had folded the weaver's back instead of, and you left. Now on the outside, I don't know how we're going to do the outside and make it look great. Have to hide it underneath this one. Wait for Ankaret to come and have it. Okay, we have the solution here. Now when you're finished going up the sides, you're at the top. You wet the top, and then you turn over the ones from the outside. So you have to have it quite wet, because they have to be turned over and pushed in. Now you see how they get tucked in to an easy place to put them. So you trim them into points, and then use your awl. This is an awl here. This is an awl. You take this awl, not to be confused with a sum, and you stick it in like so. And that's where you'll put your steak. You bend your steak over, and it will go into that spot.
Watch coming in. Your arm a bit coming in. You don't want it to flare too much, but you see this one is coming in.
Starting to get to rip. Okay. Didn't want it to rip like that. You stick your awl in like that. And that'll open it up a little bit, and then you have room to push this in. Now after you get it pushed in, you have to work it down. And you have to do it in such a way that you don't break the top of it. You need it nice and snug, so it's going to hold that top weaver in.
I think it would be easier if you just raise it. No, you have to in and out.
Well, this one was not long enough. I should have left that longer. Use your thumb to sort of curl this top part of it. And try not to let it split your reed. These are tight.
I've got lots of... And a little bit...
have to really get this. Rather than doing more than one. You need one of these. I use grass.
Okay. And what you're going to do with these other ones, these other ones that come from the inside, you're just going to cut them right off. Now here I thought that I was recording that whole time, but I wasn't. So I'm going to see if my friend was like, you've already finished them, have you? One side. Wow, you're moving right along.
It's pretty tight to get the speed of those pipes.
Yeah, yeah, very tight.
Hopefully I don't rip any of them.
It is. This one's really
So that's the idea.
sort of down.
Now, for the top, when you get to the top, you come up with the ones that are on the outside, you cut the end, and you use an awl. This is an awl. You push your awl through, and then you squish this into it. You have to make sure that they're nice and wet, otherwise they will crack here. The ones that come up from the inside, you cut off. Here I was just showing you that whole thing, thinking that you were seeing it, but it was not recording. So then, when you've got them, all the ones from the outside turned over and tucked under something, you cut the other ones off. The ones from the inside, because you don't want them coming over the inside and making a big scene, you know? It's okay to make a scene on the inside. Okay. Talk to you later. Okay, we are now at the handle stage. Before you put your top on, you put a handle. So, we have a spacer here. You're going to come down from the top, because they're going to come down from the top and join in the bottom. It's going to come down like this, and then this is going to be a handle over here, and it's going to join one spot at the back, okay? Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we will remove our, you see this? You're still recording, right? Okay, so we're going to remove this space keeper.
Everybody's AGM on Saturday. I want to remind you all. We're going to have a movie on flamenco music, and I'm going to be playing. Yeah.
What time is that? Okay, so we...
AGM, I don't know what it's always fun.
There we go. Okay. Now I like to do more than you need to do for the handle, because the worst thing happens is the handle comes apart.
An evening out. Yes. Isn't that nice? And where do you live? Oh, that's up here. Yeah.
Okay, so we push it through here.
You think Easter week or should be the week after Matthew's Day? The people go away a lot in Easter week.
And Matthew's going to see Disney on Ice. Disney on Ice. Oh, no. Yes.
And then with your needle nose pliers, you grab it.
I look at the example, you know, it's all yours. So we're going to go 1, 2,
Pull.
3, Easter. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. That's more reserved.
You need your awl? I have it here if you want it.
I have more spacers here if anybody needs them.
So that will be
1, 2, 3.
Going to leave it a little bit to go up the side. Okay, and then the handle should be the size that you want.
I think we end up with a more one. It's a more...
show and tell. Yeah.
Make sure it's twisted the right way for you.
There we are. I've got those in for you. Thank you. You can put the other two in, right? You just put you in on 1, 2, 3. This would be this one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, well, bring some things in the soup and other things. Tighten up the blue one? Or leave it up?
I would do it on the way. Keep going a bit more. I think that's better now. It's more, you know, you don't travel coming around the ends. You want these to spread out, otherwise it'll just be in trouble. So you can cut it off right here. That might be a good way to get it. You're fine.
Yeah, once we tried to have a potluck catching up the street, but it didn't work because they were going all the way wrong.
Oh, you're doing brilliantly.
That's lovely.
Nearly a basket. You on your way?
We were just talking about the future.
The future!
And we're thinking, Mary's got a good idea of having a show and tell.
So you've just laid it on the outside there.
Yes. And then when it gets to here, you're going to cut it off and you're just going to help it, you know, with my knife.
Okay.
And then you're going to put the handles on the outside. You're going to get the other piece and you're going to put it round on the inside.
Okay.
And
So
then-
it goes over the handles on the outside.
Yes. Well, it goes between them.
I see. Okay. Okay.
Comes up between the two.
Yeah.
So it's inside and you do the outside, then it's outside and you do the inside.
Okay.
Now, so should I start the one for inside over here?
Yeah.
And go around to the opposite side? Okay.
Does anybody need me here for leaving?
So after all that, we're still going
So it'll fit more smoothly.
Okay.
And then you'll bring this round.
Okay. And I'll get my clothespins on
And
it.
you'll need some clothespins. And then, you know, cut it off and then just smooth the other
So
side.
I need to start in the center of the side.
Well, I usually
Or-
do it on a different side. I think it's better to do it about over here.
Okay.
Right, and do the other one on the other side so that they're not both missing.
Okay.
And I put the handles in.
Okay, so we started by whittling off the inside of this piece, make it a little narrower, and then we're close pinning it. We've put the handles to the inside, and now we're close pinning it to the top. Okay, so now we've got our half round around the top. We get to this end, and we need to cut it. Okay, so now we put our handles to the outside. See, we've clipped this so it's thin on the inside and thin on the outside. So they'll lay flat together. Now we take this one on the inside. Okay, so we've got this on the
Well, the
inside.
easiest
This is in
way
between the
is to
two.
get your knife out.
Okay, and you've got it inside and outside.
And look at, you know, between here.
The quarter round. Okay, so when you've got that all ready, then you start.
I don't know how much I'm going to need to go around this, so I want to make sure I have lots.
Mine does when it gets down to my side. Oh, right, yes. Well, we have front doors. This one's going to be closed. Yeah. So I remember thermal mass and I wish mine...
And she had rope on hers, on the top.
Yes, to cover this up.
Yeah.
It's fine. But it's only, when it's minus 20 and...
Just go like that all the way around.
It's hot and sunny in the day.
Push this open a bit with an awl.
Oh, I see, okay.
Does anybody notice
Okay, that's how you put the top, bind the top to the sides. Okay, now I'm going to start binding this top on at this junction where my half round was there.
Yeah, I think, from our point of view, we live on our porch. I would miss it terribly. We don't really sit lovely. I have my central
Okay, so I'm going to continue around.
Very nice. So you're just
like this.
Oh, good. Oh, you might want an awl.
Looks like this is broken here, so
You don't stop with that. Stop with a few rows. Otherwise you won't anywhere. I thought I would do the same. Very nice. Very nice. And that's his arms of the wrapping.
the wrapping, that's what it's called.
Yeah. The wrapping.
Now I started it here at the joint. Is that a good idea?
Yes.
Okay.
I always think this is slow. You get to the top and you think it's right there and you need to do all that. We just have to one direction.
And you left it with 3/4.
I'm sorry. But it's so nice to have these. I don't have an effort.
Anybody has a 3/4 inch wet squeeze?
Check in the bathroom. Is there any in there in the water?